How are we doing on this extremely
Hello.
warm Thursday evening?
It has been incredibly toasty, and it just doesn't want to cool down, does it? So,
Horrendous. I hate
yeah,
it.
I'm pretty hot.
We're doing good. Can I just check
you
can hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Great. Ace, that's fine.
Now, the most important thing is, can the stream hear you? That's the main thing. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna.
That's all.
Find out shortly.
I need to know.
Blow up the chat.
We're good. Hey, we're good. We're good. They can hear, so we are good. So once again,
I've got it on here as well. It's pretty meta, so
yeah, there we go.
Going in a loop.
I appreciate it. Now, there's a top guy is a bit dark.
Yeah, my camera's really bad, bro. I don't mean it.
Get a light on.
Do you want that?
There we go.
It's like I'm telling spooky stories around a campfire.
I love it. I love it. To be fair, it fits the narrative for what's behind me, Freddie. So it's, in that respect, it's not too bad. It looks like we may talk about some horror stuff as well if you guys are fans of horror.
Don't. I'll get scared.
You get scared. No, I think starting off, I just want to say massive thank you just for joining me, spending your evening with me. I know it's life's been extremely busy for you over the last few weeks and months, and it's been crazy and stuff. So honestly, thank you so much.
It's been really busy, but we love talking to people. And then when we were like, wrestling, yeah, totally interested. We're totally in.
Me and Adam we never get the opportunity to talk about wrestling, so let's talk about wrestling. We can get to that.
Yeah, we will get to that. We will get to that. I think the main people that we're here to talk about are you guys, and I think from my side, and I think to start off really is how I found you guys, and I think it's quite. Do you know what? I've just realised I've not put my camera on Discord. That's very rude of me. Apologies, gents. So
yeah, I have been not seeing your face. Now we can see.
Now you can see us. So, as far as my discovering you guys, it was through TikTok, and I think the power of TikTok and how influential sort of social media is in the music industry, as well as the comparison to wrestling as well, and how social media can influence and grow you as a band. How have you found that so far, and what's been sort of a challenge of sort of managing social media and how you guys promote yourselves in that aspect?
Yeah, well, I think we live in an age that's the music industry has completely changed. You know what I mean? Like, for the record, we don't have a record label. We've got a very small team. We've got a manager and a booking agent, and that's it. And gone are the days where it's sort of like these record labels having amazing deals for artists. It's so we realized very quickly that social media is the new way of promoting the band. I know that's very obvious, but we very much took it in our stride to work out what's the best way to get our music to the masses. And you know what, we kept plugging away, making millions of videos, making hundreds of videos, and when we got our first video that started to pick up a bit of traction, it was just so satisfying. But now we get the occasional message being like, whenever I load up my TikTok, all I get is your band. So it's working. But yeah, we realized that, the method of using TikTok and Instagram, YouTube Shorts has really it's made us, accessible for people that didn't know about us. So it's definitely been something that's super important for us. But it seems to be working all right. That's for sure.
I found just through social media, and that's the thing. So I think from sort of an independent artist like yourselves. And guys, there is a link that will be going in the chat every few minutes that's linked to lastelleband.com, which is ticket links, merch links. Make sure you're checking that out. As far as I think it was Breathe Me In was the first sort of track that I saw, and it popped up and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check these guys out. And from there, obviously, I've gone back and listened to your first stuff and things, and I'm sure that as a band, that wasn't something initially was the first thought was, we need to make a TikTok, we need to make an Instagram reel, a YouTube short. What was the birth of Lastelle?
It's
yeah.
Oh yeah, if you want to carry on.
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, the band's been around for a little while. Before we decided that social media was a great way to sort of market everything, it started off the sort of death of a few older projects.
That's so common.
And it came together firstly with, yeah, exactly. It came together firstly with Rich and John Joe, our guitarists, who were playing in a band together. Mm-hmm. And towards the tail end of that old band, the drummer they got Mike in, who's our current drummer in Lastelle as well.
Yeah.
So those guys had worked together. They went on a few tours towards the tail end of the band's life, and they brought a videographer, which was Adam, because for anyone who doesn't know, Adam does all the, like, Adam and Rich both run a videography company, and they do everything with themselves. And because of that, we keep everything in house. So all the social media stuff, all the videos, all the cut downs, everything is Rich and Adam. Especially the social media is a lot of Adam. Yeah. So that's why he was the best guy to answer that first question for sure, because he's so involved in it. And so Adam was a videographer that the boys took out on tour in their last band, and then when they put a band together, they heard that Adam could scream and do harsh vocals, and that was his sort of inception into this. It doesn't, so and then they had a bass player who was the bass player in the old band, who kind of stuck around and helped see the start of Lastelle. Yeah. But not long after the band kind of launched, like maybe a few weeks or so, he kind of came out and was like, hey, like, I want to stick around and help you guys and stuff. But to be honest, like, music's not my passion. Kind of being a chef and going into that world is actually my passion. And that's what he does now. He's a very successful chef. Like, he does very well. And they were looking for a bass player in that sort of transition. So I went down to an audition, played some of the songs of the guys. It felt like a good fit. And then the stuff that I've brought to the band on top of that is like the vocal stuff that I do as well, and the brass parts as well. So that was never originally the case when the band was conceived. Yeah. It was always the band in that format, and then my contribution to it has been that. And I know that wasn't a question about what have I brought, but that was how I looked at the band before I joined, and then afterwards that was sort of my input onto that. And with regards to a few other things as well, like Mike, our drummer, is the lead singer. Yeah. And the boys kind of in their old band started pushing him in to do that, and heard him sing, and then were like, oh wow, this guy's voice is kind of cool. And then made him sing on a few of their tracks and sing a few little bits. And with the launch of Lastelle as a band, it was pretty clear that Mike's role was going to be big. Like, when I listened to the band before I even joined it, I was like, wow, his voice is really cool. And so when I started, when I joined the band, we started writing the future material. That was something that I kind of looked at, and I was like, cool, it's really nice to have 3 voices to write for. That's one of the things that I love about, when a band that I listen to, when I listen to music and there's different sort of vocal styles and different takes and different vocal influences, clearly, like, I think it helps keep it a bit fresh. So for anyone who's not heard us, that's a big thing that I think is a big part of our sound, is having 3 vocalists as well. And then obviously we've kind of carried on writing music, and a few years ago we kind of leaned into the social media thing, and that's brought us up to where we are now, which is in a position where we're still, as Adam said, we're still a small independent band. We are still very much self-driven. We have a very small team and a very hard-working team as well. Everyone who's involved in this project is in it because they believe in it. And we're all good friends and everyone gets on. So we're now in the position where small band, still doing everything ourselves, basically, with a little bit of help or a lot of help here and there. And yeah, that's where we're at. I think that's how I would describe the journey from beginning to end.
Perfect. That's amazing. I think the 3 vocal stuff, I do want to touch on that, because I think as a band, I think that's probably what sort of made you stand out to me, because a lot of newer bands and bands that are on the scene, even myself, I write stereotypical post-hardcore sort of, and I think I mentioned this to you, Freddie, in the EP that I'm currently writing at the moment. I've took a lot of influence from Lastelle in the atmospheric sound and how to make something sound twice as big as it would on a, without that behind it. And I think, being a band, I think that's what pulled me in, and bands I liked growing up always had a few vocalists, Under Oath, Seosin, bands like that of that ilk. And I think seeing that and how you've just portrayed that there, it is so true, because it really does make you stand out from the crowd. And I think between the 3 of you, you have a really, really cool diversity within your tracks. And I think long may it continue. So as far as upcoming shows, we will get to that, and we'll get to the new EP and things like that. Exist Volume 1, we know we can talk about it in a little bit more detail than Exist Volume 2. So as far as is Exist Volume 1 and Exist Volume 2 one and the same, in the sense of, is it a continuance of a story you're trying to tell, or is it something, are they 2 completely separate entities in that respect?
Try not to both answer at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was all written over a period of time, and Exist Volume 1 and 2 were all written together.
Yeah.
And as together as it is, in a band, we write, the last song that was written for the Exist Volumes 1 and 2 stuff was written a considerable amount of time after the first song that was written. So things always, happen over a period of time.
Of course.
But I think the easiest way to answer that is to say that, like, both Volume 1 and Volume 2 were recorded together.
Okay.
They were recorded and put together as one thing. And in order to take a step back and give every song its time in the sun, we split it into 2 different volumes. And the way that it's kind of fallen is that not only has every song been given a chance to have a bit of a spotlight and have a music video and take a bit of time on it, it's also meant that, and this is maybe just my feeling, it's not something that is something that the whole band has spoken about, but I feel like there's this sort of light and dark thing, where the first volume is a bit lighter, and not necessarily more happy, but it's definitely in some of its feeling a bit more optimistic. And then some of the Volume 2 stuff is a bit more pessimistic and a bit darker. Some of the stuff that's touched in that is more dark themes. But then again, most of the stuff we write is pretty miserable. So to be honest, maybe it's all a bit dark. Maybe one's just a bit less depressing than the other.
It's the instant thing, isn't it? How many girlfriends have broke up with you? I guess it's a concurrent theme, isn't it, throughout all of metal and rock, and even I suppose Taylor Swift to a degree. But yeah, I'm super excited, obviously, for Exist Volume 2. It's really interesting, the fact that you mentioned there about the fact that they were recorded at the same time. So in that respect, then, why was it a choice for it to be made into EPs rather than an album?
I think kind of like what Freddie touched on, it was really like to showcase as much as we can. Mm-hmm. Like we said at the beginning, being an independent band, and also doing pretty much all of it ourselves, including like music videos. 80% of the music was recorded by the guitarist, and then it was only things like vocals that we went to a studio and had producer Simon working with us with that. But so, like Freddie said, is like, instead of just putting out an album and having 4 songs get the spotlight, we essentially we've made a music video for every single song from Exist Volume 1, and we're going to make a music video for every single song on Exist Volume 2.
You took away one of my questions.
Like, essentially, we were really happy with the music that we made. Of course, bands are going to say this is the best thing we've written so far, but I truly believe that, over the years we've sort of changed it slightly and worked out what our strengths are.
Yeah.
And then we have this body of music, this collection of music, and we really wanted to showcase all the songs and also release it over a period of time, so we Exist Volume 1 last year, Exist Volume 2 this year. We'd like to think that we're on people's minds, like we've got another song coming out soon, you know what I mean, like, and then after that we've got another song coming out, so it's like we really wanted to showcase that whole collection of music, and I think we just sort of thought, let's split this up and release it as Exist Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Perfect, thank you. Touching on, because again it sort of opened up my question a little bit around the video production. So they're all recorded, produced in-house by yourself, and I'm assuming a small team working together. The visuals, the lighting, all this extra stuff that goes into sort of video production. So, for example, the video for Bitter Seeds starts with a big grand opening is it a church? It looks like, I think, at the opening.
Yeah, it's like a abandoned church that we hired.
So what goes into sort of that process of side of things of being like, okay, we need to find a location, we need to find this lighting, we need to find this, we need to find, so sort of, if Bitter Seeds is, I'm assuming, the most recent, bar the ones that are yet to be released, music videos that you've put out there. So what was that process like? Because I'll be honest, it looked absolutely freezing.
It wasn't actually freezing. It was. I think Tired Eyes, actually.
Oh, Tired Eyes. Sorry, Tired Eyes. That looked freezing. Yeah.
Yeah. There's bits where, like, the first scene, I'm sort of just breathing, and there's
smoke. Oh yeah.
You can see my breath.
I think it might have been the coldest I've ever been on a video shoot. Was Tired Eyes. Do
you know what? We're going to talk about Tired Eyes now. That was my fault being a bad fan.
It was like 2 degrees.
Well, someone said to me, like, "Are you smoking a vape?" I'm like, "I don't smoke vapes," but it did look like it, just because you see my own breath. But yeah, going back to like music videos, both me and Rich, we definitely have a sort of a vision that we have since the beginning, the inception of the band, of how we want the band to look. But yeah, we definitely come up with sort of the concepts that drive the music videos, and especially in Exist Volume 2, where we've been putting sort of this hidden character throughout the music videos, and they're sort of a little nod towards what the actual concept of the EP is about. But yeah, me and Rich go back and forth, and we a lot of the Exist Volume 1 was Rich leading the music videos, and the Exist Volume 2 has been me leading the music videos. But it is collaborative. We are obviously talking to the boys and coming up with the concept, and then it's just great fun because we can just do it ourselves. We can hire an abandoned church and flail around and jump kick until they complain that we're too loud. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So maybe that should have been the plan in Tired Eyes. Just a few more jump kicks, and you would have been fine.
Yeah,
I do
absolutely. I was doing jump kicks off and on the camera.
Yeah. Now it's no longer available, but I do want to talk about the end of Tired Eyes. This is again a subject of it has subjects of mental health in there. There was cheating. There was all these confessions that were recorded over a period of time and put over the end at the end of Tired Eyes. As an advocate and who's lost friends to mental health and all this stuff. So where did that concept come from, and why did you only keep it up for a set period of time?
I can speak to, firstly, the reason it was only kept up for a short period of time, because I think that's a fairly, not quick answer, not to brush it off, but
Yeah.
I think we intentionally wanted it to be anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted it to come across as anonymous, so we did manipulate the voices a little bit.
Of course.
Because the idea of it was that to give people an anonymous space to say something to someone that they have never said or could never say or would never say. Now that ranges from a person who they've lost, who they can't speak to anymore, a person who has let them down and is no longer in their life, and they wanted to leave them a parting gift of words, or to someone that is maybe still in their life that they don't feel like they can be truly honest with, because we all have people like that as well. Everyone's got people in their lives that perhaps you can't speak how you truly feel because of reasons bigger than yourself. So one of the reasons of keeping it anonymous and making sure it was only up there for I think 48 hours in the end, that was one of the big points of the entire thing, or one of the intentions was to make sure that there was this anonymous thing that didn't stick around.
Yeah.
It wasn't there for us to try and get clout. It wasn't there. Obviously, it was an idea that we wanted to do. In a way, it was thought up in hopes that it would get people talking, not just about the band, but also to get people talking about that and go, oh, how if I'd have done that, what would I have said? That was another thing. I was personally really proud of that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was anonymous and it was there was great. So I've spoken about the intentions of it, but realistically it was just a voicemail line that, for anyone who doesn't know, it was just a voicemail line that anyone could call up and leave a voicemail, and that was kind of it. Like, we didn't know who these people were. We never assigned any of our feelings to them. We listened to what they said when we put them on there. And I think it was a really unique thing. I mean, I'm very, very proud of it. I really enjoyed the fact that we did that, and I'm really glad we gave people an opportunity to say some things.
Yeah.
Never spoken. I don't think I've ever spoken in an interview about it, and I don't think we've really spoken too much about it in general. So yeah, what are your feelings on it?
It was quite eye-opening because of the range of voicemails that we received, and me being the person that had to edit them. And we knew that we didn't know how many we were going to receive. At first I thought, are we going to receive any?
Yeah.
And we got so many, and I was the guy that was tasked to listen to every single one, and it was a hard edit,
Yeah.
I think I literally sent a selfie to the boys, me like this, just sort of crying because it was just very overwhelming.
Yeah.
People talking about things that, and people tackling the uncomfortable, and it really, like I said, was eye-opening. But yeah, like Freddie said, we're kind of proud of it, because if a band's going to talk about mental health, it's going to talk about grief or troubles in their life, I think that our music really hones in on that. But yeah, it was an interesting idea, but I will be honest, I won't jump to do it again because it was so emotional. It was a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but once it was all edited, I'd watched it through, and each time I was like, oh God, this bit gets me, or this bit's pretty full on. But yeah, it was a project that we thought was an interesting like concept as such. So yeah, it was
Cool.
it was an interesting task.
Well, I'm very happy that I'm the first person to ask you about it. So I'll take that. I'll take that as a win.
Yeah. I think, the thing is, it was something that kind of, it did go, like, it went after 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some people that did, like, music video reactions.
Yeah.
And then they were like, what is this at the end, sort of thing? And they're sort of... And after it went live, a couple of them messaged and they said, oh, should we actually remove this if it's supposed to be only there? And a lot of them just snipped that bit off afterwards, and now it's essentially gone forever. So it's an interesting concept.
I think from my side, because obviously I reacted to the song. I think it was live on a stream, and I purposely cut that bit off because I didn't know what the context of it was, and obviously I have viewers who may suffer with things that they've experienced, that these amazing people who've shared their thoughts with, and so I watched it sort of afterwards, and I just found it so powerful that these are just normal everyday people that are in essence pouring their heart out to a band that potentially they've never met before. They've never, it's such a unique thing, and I applaud you for coming up with that. And it gave people an outlet of like, oh wow, maybe I can have that conversation, maybe I can reach out to that person, and again, applaud you for coming up with it, because it was absolutely incredible. Couple of people who've jumped into the chat just want to say hello. So we have WrestleFan01, we have Mike, Nikki, Ben, my co-songwriter, absolute legend. And we've got a few people over on TikTok as well. There was a comment here about the multi vocalist bands. Someone put, my wife's best friend has put McFly and Busted. Can't forget McFly and Busted. We can't.
I literally went and saw McFly at Download the other week.
Well, my wife is going to watch McFly and Busted. I think they've got a tour coming up.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how much you know about these guys, but just on the subject of Busted, or it may completely not be anything to do with Busted at all. There's a new anonymous band that have popped up out of nowhere, which I'm sure you've seen.
Token.
That's the one. Yeah. Oh no, it's not them ones, is it? Yeah. No, President. Again, linking back to the sort of TikTok thing and social media and how they've approached it. It's very unique. And then obviously they debuted, I believe, was it the same day you guys played Download, or was it the day after?
Yeah, they played.
They played the Sunday?
What was it on the Sunday?
Yeah, I think it was the Sunday afternoon, wasn't it?
It was the Sunday. Yeah.
You don't remember?
But yeah,
was that for reasons? Other reasons?
No. I mean, I didn't go and see them.
Oh, you didn't go and see them. Oh, fair play.
Yeah, no, if they were playing on Sunday, I had a very busy Sunday watching unlistenable death metal. So
yeah,
proud of that. First time in a little while.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But I think it is, what you were saying with like social media and TikTok, the amount of buzz created.
It's crazy.
Just from
a post.
Yeah, that's from TikTok, from social media.
Insane.
Crazy.
So, Download. Again, smoothly on. How was it? What was it like? Again, that is as far as I'm concerned, it's for a lad who grew up in the UK, Download's the WrestleMania, and I believe, Adam, that was your WrestleMania moment. So
Adam,
you tell your story. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, so we've talked about a few things, and I've already said that I was crying about something. So I'm an easy crier. What's the word? I cry easily. Mm-hmm. I think I cried at the end of Men in Black 3. I do love a good cry. But anyway, so we are probably 20 minutes before we're going on, and my partner messaged me and said, "This is your WrestleMania moment," and I was just like,
That's when reality set in. That was it. That was the moment.
"Yeah." I was like, "It really? I think it is. I think it is." And yeah, I had a little cry, but you know, it's not very hard to break me. But and also Rich, the guitarist in the band, he said something, I think, to John Joe. He said, "It's not every day that you wake up and you know that you're going to make a core memory today." And I think that's like, we're never going to forget Download.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like you were saying, you know, it's something that we've dreamed of playing since we were kids, you know, and getting the opportunity was very overwhelming. But we kept saying, like, we've just got to take it in, because, you know, we could have let it just pass by really quickly, and we just had to really take it in. But yeah, it was great.
That's awesome.
It was good fun. It's to say as well, like, it was an early start, and it was like, it was getting there early, it was getting all the stuff done. It was a relatively short set. It was rehearsing for it. It was going out and flyering a little bit the day before and doing press and chatting to people. Like, you know, we still had a fair amount of work to do, but as soon as we'd finished playing and everything was packed down and we were all done, it was kind of like, I mean, even during the set, there was definitely opportunities. And for the set, I was very much like, cool, let's just relax and enjoy this, right? But as everyone knows who's either played in a band or done anything remotely similar or even dissimilar, like, you know, it's always amazing to be, as a performer, it's amazing to be in the moment, but there's so much more that goes into it than just the set that you're playing on stage. So because of that, there was so much to do that weekend, which made it really, really amazing. But every single person we spoke to backstage, like in interviews and stuff like that, or just people coming up and chatting, everyone was really friendly, and I think we felt really accepted, which is really, really nice for a band who sometimes we do feel, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone. Sometimes I feel like our music doesn't fit in some places, and we obviously know where we're going and the sound that we've got, but we're not really a metal band. We're also not really a rock band, and we do have poppy bits, but we're not really a pop band, and we're not like a post-rock band because some of the songs are 3 minutes long. So, and that's nice. I love Lastelle, I love what we're doing, but like, it was really nice to just be at Download and be like completely received for what we do. And I think regardless of what you do, whether it's music or anything, you know, or wrestling, it's nice to go out and do your thing and just be received well for that and be appreciated for what you're bringing.
And do you know what? That must be an absolute awesome feeling. Again, liken it to wrestling is that you feel like when you finish and you do that thing, and I'm assuming as well, it went extremely fast. Like, you're on stage, and then before you know it, you're off stage, and you go, have we just done that? Like, except when I do it, I walk back through the curtain in a load of pain. So it's very, but I can get it. I've been in bands before, and it's that sort of trying to be in the moment of what you're doing whilst concentrating on not messing up the next note you're about to play, and still also letting yourself go on stage and trying to enjoy the moment. And it's so hard. And you know, again, I liken it to my moment last year when I won a title in one of the promotions I wrestled in, and my family was there, my kids were there, and, you know, trying to be in that moment whilst also remembering, right, I'm about to get my head kicked in, I've got to kick his head in, and it's all that stuff. It's trying to enjoy it, and it's hard, but
yeah.
From my side and your music, as I say, if you're not long enough to be post rock, maybe diet post rock, we'll come up with a new genre for Lastelle. But again, there is elements to your music that fits in with a lot of different things, and I think a big example of music not fitting in but still being accepted in some quarters is Sleep Token. Massive headliner and there was a lot of controversy around Sleep Token being a headliner, and they're not for everyone. I personally, I'm a big fan. I enjoy what they do. I think they're a bit different, just like you guys. I think is what you're doing are very different. In aspects, I think there is some throwback elements to your music in how you're approaching it, but also a very unique sound in what you're trying to do, and I think you're doing that very, very well. Coming on from Download, You've had a few shows the last couple of weekends. I saw a very, very funny, I think it was TikTok. I'm not sure if it might have been you, Freddie, or it was me this weekend sat in front of the TV, and then
I don't have TikTok, so I don't know what goes on
so it
there.
wasn't you, yeah. It definitely wasn't you then. And then, in fact, I think it might have been one of the guitarists. Yeah. It was me this weekend, and then me last weekend, and it jumped, and then before you know it, it was like playing in front of download, and that's fucking cool. You can say that you've done that, and what is this sort of? Is there any other festivals planned for this year? Is there any other festivals that you want to tick off for Lastelle?
Yeah, absolutely. Like for the rest of this year, we've got a few. They're more like day festivals.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got. Let me look. I'm going to look because I've got a terrible memory.
I can help if you want, because I was sending emails about them. We've got Pink Cloud Summer in Middlesbrough on the 2nd of August. We've got Life is Music on the 16th of August.
And that's in Brighton.
And then we've got Altfest in Cardiff on the 27th of October, I think, or 27th of November.
29th
one of those two.
Of November.
29th of November. There you go. I haven't emailed about that.
Wow.
One. Yeah. So we've got that, and then we've got the headline as well.
We will talk.
So it'll be cool. There's some really cool bands. Yeah. There's some really cool bands on those shows. So it's going to be a really nice opportunity just to like play with some bands and like smaller acts that we've all personally wanted to check out for a while. So there's a few bands on those bills across those. Like Love Is Noise. They're a cool band who are kind of up and coming as well. I still haven't actually seen them play a set live, and we're playing with them in Brighton. So that'll be really cool. There's a band called Blighttown who are from Nottingham, and I think they're playing both the Middlesbrough and Brighton festivals that we're playing. So that'd be cool to check them out. There's a band called Lonesome who are playing with us in Cardiff, who we played a few shows with before.
Lovely guys.
So I think, especially with those smaller festivals, it'll be really, really cool to just catch up with some old friends and make new friends. So it'll be really cool. It'll be fun to do. And I honestly think that's all that we have. I think that's all we have announced.
Yeah, but
I think that's what we have announced. Yeah. And I don't know if there's anything else unannounced. Not that I could say if I was, but I'm not sure if there's anything else.
In terms of the future, we definitely hope that next year we'll see more festivals, and hope to go overseas, hopefully Europe sort of thing. Yeah. But nothing confirmed. We'll
to be confirmed. Yeah. Look, keep an eye on the socials and on lastelleband.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, headline tour. Massive headline tour coming up. I have my tickets. Get yours. Links are in the chat, guys. Don't be lazy. Come on. It's not that expensive. It's less than an Uber Eats. It's less than a Just Eats. Get your tickets. Come and watch Lastelle.
Pretty reasonable, I think.
Mate, I bought tickets to a band I'm going to see in December. One of my favourite bands, granted. I could buy...
Who's the band?
Ice Nine Kills. I could buy 10 of their tickets for the price of... 10 of your tickets for the price of one of theirs. So
you can come see our entire headline tour for the same price as that. Now, what I will say is I don't know if their show is going to be 10 times as good as ours. I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I mean, look, we are, like we said, we're a relatively small band. And so the overheads aren't really that much. We're also probably not going to bring any pyro because we'd burn down all the venues we play in. So we don't have a huge outgoing on flamethrowers.
Yeah. Or costumes, or axes, or Halloween costumes, or things like that. So
we could get someone dressed up as art, and come out.
Well,
they're going to do that.
Yeah.
There's a wrestler I know called Isaac North, and he wears face paint. And he wears black and white pants. Looks a bit like art. We could chuck him on for you.
What's this going out fee? Like, is it?
Yeah, we'll sort it out. Do
we have to hit him with the chair in order for him to take the booking?
It's mandatory. Yeah. Has to happen.
Okay.
Although when
Okay,
you
got you,
when you see Isaac North, you probably wouldn't want to do that. I will say that.
Is he a big guy?
Very, yeah.
Is he scary?
He's very intimidating. Yeah. Again, out of the makeup and the costume and stuff, sweetest guy going. Looking at him, you go, maybe not. So Birkenhead, which we discussed about that. These have played once before. Was it the same venue you played in Birkenhead that you're playing in now with the Future Yard, is it? Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it was the same venue, and they do alcohol-free beer on tap and amazing pizzas. So we were well chuffed.
Winner. You literally can't complain with that. And I think
Yeah.
we'll if you get down early enough and you have a spare hour, we'll take you over to New Brighton. You can have a look at the beach around there. You can see the beautiful new Everton Stadium off in the distance, and then you can see the other stadium, the red one, over the other side as well. You can see lovely escapes of Liverpool city centre. So yeah, we'll try and organise that for you on the day. It's September though. I don't know what the weather's going to be like though. We'll see. So yeah, so the EP drops before the headline tour. Couple of weeks before, but
Yes.
Very strategic, gentlemen. I like that. Strategic.
Yeah, so it released just before, and then about a week later we start the tour, and it's sort of I think it's Exeter, London, Bristol, Derby.
I have it right here, so I'll test your knowledge.
Glasgow, Manchester, Leeds. Looking down, Sheffield.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might find it before me. There's lots of different dates all around the UK. Here we go. Yeah, so we've got Exeter, London, Bristol, Derby, Birkenhead, Glasgow, Manchester, Leeds, and Sheffield. So massive UK tour in September. Yeah. As I say, guys, link is in the chat if you do want to get tickets. They're very cheap. Come and watch an amazing band. Have a good night. And it's not like the lacking of choice. There's a lot of different venues and places that you can see them. So moving on very swiftly, because I know you're very, very busy gentlemen, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. Wrestling. Let's talk about some fucking wrestling. Why the fuck not?
Who's your greatest of all time? Like, who's your
my personal
greatest of all time?
This is Switch now. This is a full-on interview about wrestling now, and it's going to be Lastelle Interview and Tommy Jackson. That's what it's going to be.
That's what it was always going to be, my brother. That's where we were going.
Yeah, they didn't care about their EP and their tour. They just want to talk about wrestling. My greatest of all time, and this is quite controversial, is Triple H. And see, I told you they were going to react.
I
don't think that's controversial at all. The
main reason, and I do have reasons.
I mean,
it's
a bit controversial there.
Yeah, it is a little bit. My main reasons for it are he's an outstanding heel. He's an outstanding face. He can do comedy. He has fantastic matches. You think of the feuds.
He does have about 4 moves, though, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he does, yeah. So does John Cena, so does Ric Flair, so does Hulk Hogan. So, in that respect, I would much rather watch 20 Triple H matches over... one Triple H match over any Hulk Hogan match, in my opinion. I'm a very, very controversial. I cannot stand Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan. So, that's... here we go. Yeah.
See. Here's an issue because I think you've lumped Ric Flair in with Hulk Hogan.
No,
and that
for 2 separate
reasons. Is something that's something I was going to say because that's the thing is when you compare one of them is a character and one of them is someone who can actually wrestle.
That's very true. Very true. Very true. The reasons why I dislike Ric Flair it's just because he's an absolute asshole. That's literally it. As a human being, he's awful.
He is.
That's the big thing. That's the problem. Is like, and there's a lot of terrible people in both music and wrestling, and I think that is a thing that doesn't need to. Let's not give them any more time than they deserve, which is none if they're problematic. So fine, but I think Triple H is great. I love everything. I remember
Freddie,
like
love it.
watching his matches and he's not
the
the
Reign of
greatest of all
Terror.
time, but I do think, I think he's wicked.
I think prior to Evolution Triple H, like when it was DX Triple H and it was sort of like before his Reign of Terror, I always think of, like, everyone goes, oh, Rock and Austin. I don't. I think of Triple H versus Rock, Triple H versus Austin, because he made them both better. So that's why I always said their feuds and matches were well better than their matches against each other, in my opinion. With exception, people say the best WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 17. Austin Rock with the infamous heel turn of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I still love it. I think it's fucking genius. But I'm going to spin it round. Who are your GOATs? That's what I want to know.
Who wants to go first?
Adam is definitely more versed in this. Adam is a more versed wrestling guy. When it comes to who's been to more wrestling shows, Adam's been to more and done that. And Adam got me back into wrestling like 5-6 years ago. Mm-hmm. So after that, Adam, you definitely have to go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd probably say like my OG is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh,
just
yeah.
like,
There we
absolute
go.
clinic, Ric Flair is up there, but not as a person.
Yeah.
As a wrestling character.
That's fair.
And then sort of growing up, CM Punk definitely got me back into wrestling when everyone fell out of wrestling, which I think a lot of people
Kill Switch Engage as his theme. Come on, like. Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, I've just thought of the next question, but I'll let you continue, Adam. Apologies for cutting over you.
But yeah, I definitely. He also made me so angry when he left.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'll ever forgive him there. But but yeah, OG would be Macho Man Randy Savage.
Lovely stuff. Freddie, go on, give us your GOAT.
I think, rather than going for modern, which is actually what I'd probably rather do, because I think wrestling's in a great state at the moment and I really enjoy, like, for me, there was a big gap. So there was a good 15 years where I didn't watch a huge amount of wrestling, right? But the stuff that, like, I loved growing up was watching the sort of, like, watching Rey Mysterio just do what he did.
He's
and I just think
in the conversation.
Yeah, just for a guy who's never been a heel, and as far as I'm aware, like, to have someone that size doing what he did, and then to still go on and win like heavyweight champions and championships and stuff, I think that changed what. And again, what the fuck do I know? But I think that changed what wrestling kind of could be and what it was, because it feels like when you watch documentaries about how wrestling was, it was always these larger than life characters that were 6'6" and jacked to the gills.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Ray broke the mold for what a WWE superstar had to be. And all of a sudden it could be this short luchador. And he brought like that idea of lucha libre, which is still one of, if not is probably my favorite style in like currently. He brought a style in a match rather than, like actual characters and stuff. But yeah, that style just really resonated with me when I was watching that. So yeah, I'd probably say Ray. I think a special piece of my heart goes to like probably Mankind, because
what a legend.
His shit was nuts.
Yep.
And just watching like some of the stuff he was doing was crazy. And then also like Undertaker, because some of the stuff that Undertaker was doing was really cool. And it just, as like a Grebo kid who thought bikes were sick and Limp Bizkit ruled, I was like, this is fucking sick.
The relevancy of like your opinions and stuff, like, don't get me wrong, my chat is blowing up right now because of how
I'm reading it.
They're loving it. And again, I believe we come from a very similar age range of where we are, and I'm just purely guessing that at that point. But again,
I'm 15.
yeah, he's fit. Yes, that
17.
doesn't shock me at all. I'm 19. I've just had an extremely hard life, and I have a wife and 2 kids, so that tells you everything you need to know. So, before we finish off, I just want to check with the chat. Do we have any questions for the guys before I let them go? There is one more while I get some questions from the chat. Wrestling theme songs. Now, we've talked about the GOAT of wrestlers. What is the GOAT of wrestling theme songs?
Cult of Personality is pretty cool. And that's going to be a really, really hard take for me to defend because I am...
People are going to lose that. Yeah, they're going to go, no, Freddie.
Because that's a banger. No, I mean,
it is.
They're going to lose it even more when I say what I'm about to say, which is that I don't really like CM Punk.
No,
and it's the major thing that me and several of my wrestling fan friends we disagree on. I cannot get behind CM Punk for an abundance of reasons.
There's a few people here who are going to absolutely agree with what you're saying there, Freddie. A lot of people, again, similar thing
he's
to...
very easy.
Yeah, he is. The Ric Flair situation for me is the CM Punk situation for a lot of other people. So I completely appreciate that. Adam, yours?
Okay, mine is going to be a little bit like no one's going to agree with me, but it's more of a core memory for me. So mine is Seth Rollins' music. Not now. I don't like his music now. Well, everyone does, but
please say
it's
what
his
you're
old
Please
his
say what you're
old
about to
music.
say, yeah. Okay. Now.
And the reason why
Go on.
is because the cash-in at WrestleMania 31.
Yes.
I was there.
Incredible.
And I'll send you a picture of my reaction because I went.
I'll share that on the stream.
Nuts.
I will.
So I just have a core memory. I think I've explained this so many times. I was with my best friend and we're at WrestleMania 31, and it was getting towards the very end of the show, and obviously it's Brock versus Roman, and he just leant over to me and he went, "Dude, there's like 3 minutes left. If the match finishes now, there's not enough time for him to cash in." And I was like, "Oh yeah, valid point. Oh, I guess he's not cashing in," because I was a huge Seth fan at that point.
Yeah.
And the music came in,
and
yeah.
The rest
and I
is
just
history.
Lost.
The rest is history. My best friend was at the WrestleMania when the Hardys returned, and he said he couldn't remember, like the noise was that loud, like he didn't realize where he was. Like it was almost like it was just like a wall of noise, and it's like to experience that kind of thing. And again, not comparing WrestleMania to when I won a title, but I remember winning my title. It's the only title I've ever won. Again, lost it a couple of weeks ago. It is what it is. But in that moment, I was going into that match as a heel. And the story we were telling was to have not a double turn as such, but just like a soft turn for both of us. So the story of it being that he beat me to become the first ever champion a year earlier. I was then for a year calling him out every show. Where are you? And I want a shot. Finally got to a point where he gave me a shot. And I'd attacked him. I'd done all this stuff. So by that point, he was pissed. Start of the match, boom, straight away, kick, boom. And he was on me straight away. So it was almost like the roles had reversed. But we built it to a point, and it was in a round system. So it was 2 5-minute rounds. If there was no winner after those 2 5-minute rounds, it went into overtime. At the end of it, the timer expired, and it got to a point where the fans were like, give them more time. We told that story to get to a point where the fans were like, just come on, give it to him. I said, we just go, we go. Well, there was a lot of history between the two of us previously, and I've said, we don't end this, let's go again. We go, caught him with the submission, tapped him out, crowd went ballistic. But I remember it was just under 30 minutes. I think we were in this match for. The day before, I'd played in a charity football match, wrestlers against rappers. Ridiculous. I was in more pain from the football than I was from the wrestling. But I remember sort of being in the ring. The match was over. Got the title in my hand. Was looking at it. My wife and kids come in. That was my moment where I was like, "Oh my god, I'm about to break in front of everyone here because I've got my 2 kids running at me." Gets through the curtain and I just collapsed because I was just in agony. And it's little things like that. And I think a lot of the time with wrestling and I guess just performance as such, like you touched upon there, Adam, is that when you sort of realize what you've done, it's such an emotional thing. Playing Download, me winning that title, it's that sort of like, oh my god, I've actually done something that people are going to remember, and it's such a cool moment. So I think, the love of performance and being in front of a crowd and things like that, I ain't getting any younger, so that's why I've started music again, so I know that I've got something to fall back on when my wrestling career finishes. I'm just going to have a quick look now. We've got a Ric Flair is mid at best comment here. We've had... okay, here's a question, nice and quick for you.
We've had a lot of CM Punk hate, which I'm not against, but
Told you,
there you go. AEW or WWE was the question, which is nice that easy. I'm an AEW guy. I also like WWE, and I also, one of the reasons I probably don't like Punk is because his run in AEW was short and ended in a terrible way. But then I continued watching him in WWE and was still not super interested. What was the question?
So it was AEW or WWE for you, Adam. What's your choice?
Well, personally, I preferred CM Punk's run in UFC, but
you were probably the only one.
Yeah.
I think it's gone back and forth. Obviously, I think WWE is the easy answer, and when AEW started, I definitely was like, I jumped on the bandwagon, and then it sort of petered off a little bit. I think WWE is a little bit more easy watching personally. I think AEW just needs to sort out their storylines a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's just me. But yeah, I'd say I'm a WWE guy. Yeah.
That's fair.
I would say, like, I watch both at the moment. I also think it's worth saying that, like, I think you get it less in music. It seems to be very rife with the internet of wrestling. It's this huge desire to have to pick a side with everything.
Yeah.
And it's because everyone's got an opinion. And to be fair, we've just shared our opinions on what we like and don't like. But I think people don't always... people are less willing to just go, well, that's not for me, but that's okay. Like, I've got friends who are more into WWE, and I do check it out, and I've been to some WWE events. I do watch AEW more often. I'm also willing to say, like, it's been a bit ropey in the last year. Like, it's not as good as it was. I feel like there's this very much this tribalism thing, and you get it less in music. I will say you do get it in music.
Oh no, you do
as well. You do. A lot of people going, oh, this band doesn't have the breakdowns that I like. Or my band that I like is heavier.
Sleep Token.
I like this kind of music. This is it. And I think the Sleep Token thing is a great example.
Yeah.
Because actually, I wasn't impartial about Sleep Token. I was like, yeah, they're cool. I've seen them, but I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't listen to them a huge amount, whatever. But they're cool. And then when they got announced for download, the vitriolic negative comments online actually drove me to be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm 100% Team Sleep Token because I'm 100% not on the same team as the people who are writing horrible comments on the internet.
Yes.
Like, I'm just like, do you know what? Anything I can do to be on the opposite side to that, even if you don't like Sleep Token, it's cool that a newish band, I say newish, like they've been around for 7 or 8 years or something, but it's cool that a newer band are in a position to headline download. And even if maybe they're not as big as Korn or Green Day, they should be given that opportunity to do it. And it only elevates everyone because it brings more eyes to everything. And I think that's a really nice thing. I think it's a really, really nice thing. I think too many people are just negative about music. I'm sure you deal with it in the wrestling side of things. And wrestling is slightly different because everyone boos people. No one boos music, but yeah, that's my hot take.
I will find, and this one of the biggest arguments I seen was that Sleep Token aren't metal. 2 words.
Neither's Green Day.
There it is. Yeah, Green Day. You know, they were.
And also, to be fair, Download's not a metal festival. Download's a rock festival.
Yeah.
It's been, they had Feeder headline about 15 years ago. Like, it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? And this is the thing where people are like, oh, it's not metal. And it's like, well, even if it is or isn't metal, like, who cares?
So what?
If you don't like it, that's okay. You can leave. But, like, don't take away from other people's enjoyment of that, or try to take away from other people's enjoyment of that. If you like WWE, great. If you like going to indie events, great. Whatever is your cup of tea, that's cool.
Just enjoy it. I've got a couple of comments from the world of wrestling. Another professional wrestler, Ian Skinner, over on our TikTok. He said, "When did Drew Parker change his name to Freddie? I will let you Google Drew Parker." He's
okay.
Adam, you will want to see this.
If this person looks really ugly,
oh no, he's a
I'm
stud.
not going to be.
No, he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. I want to see what Freddie's reaction to this.
You wearing cowboy hats?
No, that's not him.
Nope. I think there's a country artist called Drew Parker as well.
Put wrestler after.
Yeah, it might be best. Yeah.
We're talking about the country artist. Look at these cowboy hats. This is going to not translate. You guys can't see that.
I can see that.
There's cowboy hats. He's the
You
worst
do look a
professional
little bit
wrestler.
like Drew Parker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big up Drew. He's pretty handsome. I'll take it.
There we go.
Thank
There
you
we go.
very much.
Do you know what? I would not be disappointed to be compared to Drew Parker. I'm just saying. And he's a deathmatch wrestler.
You know what? My camera's kind of rubbish. So like, if you see me in person, maybe it's not the same. This camera doesn't trans.
Okay, last couple. We'll try and do them quick fire because again, I know you guys have took up so much of your time. So, are you going to be watching All In?
Yeah.
Is it 12th?
I'm not a. Yeah, it's literally this weekend, Saturday, not Sunday. Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it, but I definitely am one of those. Back in the day, sort of 8 years ago or so, I watched every single WWE pay-per-view live with my pal, and we went round each other's house and we'd stay up late.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that now. Watch it the next day.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
I am there with you.
yeah, definitely will be watching. It should be pretty sick. It's in Texas, isn't it?
It is indeed. And there was follow-up there. What do you think is going to be better, All In or Evolution? I think we both know.
Well, Evolution's card has not really been built very well.
It's
has it?
awful. It's
No
awful. No, it absolutely is the case. A couple of wrestling references from when Freddie said that that bands don't really get booed. We've got I'd boo David Draymond until I had no voice. There's a comment
Well,
there.
we did get booed last week.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, we did, and maybe rightly so. Well, no, maybe if you like him, you can like him. You don't have to.
So you have 8 p.m. start
I need
time,
to know
apparently.
Freddie's top 3 death metal bands. Yeah, less so death metal, but like I'm really into Meshuggah. They're my favorite band on the planet, I think. I've just derailed this and just gone straight to the chat. Sorry, Tommy, I'm just bypassing you.
It's all good. All good. Go for it.
At the moment,
this is Freddie's stream now.
yeah. Not necessarily like death metal, but yeah, like probably Meshuggah, probably like Decapitated are pretty cool. Their like record they put out a year or two ago was pretty wild. And then I'll shout out a band called Anal Nathrak, who are our friends, our plane friends. We met them on a plane, saw them at Download. They were unbelievable. It is relentless, but like it's sick, man.
Love that.
But yeah, those are 3 of my fave heavy bands at the moment.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. You're getting a lot of love on TikTok. There's been a question: is Freddie single?
Whoa. No,
I am
not
going to go. I'm going to go tell my girlfriend all about this.
Tell her that you're a wanted man, Freddie. That's what it is.
She's currently.
I'm now getting
waiting.
shouted at for asking that question. By the way, don't put it in the chat, then, Natalie. That's your fault. So
yeah.
Again, you know, that's the way it is. Thank you for the Prime sub. Faye, thank you for the tier 1. Sorry I missed those guys. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Can I give you my Prime sub?
I assume so. I appreciate it if you do.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. I'll talk you through it later. It's all good. There was... Oh, by the way, Faye has bought tickets to the Birkenhead show in the chat there. So we've got another ticket sold. Fun fact, I did tell Freddie this, but I don't know if you know this, Adam. So it's attending the Birkenhead show is myself, my wife, and a new fan that I've made of Lastelle. It's my mother-in-law.
Sick. See you in the pit.
Yeah. I will absolutely. She will. Bearing in mind, she's never been to a gig before. Ever.
What?
Never.
Tell her to bring earplugs. Not like seriously.
Yeah. I'm already on that.
Those cymbals loud.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure she stood at the bar getting a drink, and just probably staying there. But again, I thought, what better way to sort of ease her in than a fantastic Lastelle show? You know, that you can't get better than that.
I don't think what we're doing is. Yeah, he's going to do that. I don't think our music is too mother-in-law unfriendly.
Agreed. She loves it. She loves it. From the stuff I said, listen to these guys, see what you think. Big Stereophonics fan and loves bands of that kind of ilk. And I've said, check these guys out, and she's gone, love them. So
that's cool.
My mum doesn't like my own band.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, right? You can give her a shout out. I'll drop you a message closer to the time. Her name's June. There you go. So I'll drop you a message because she will.
Find us.
It's on you to remind us.
I will make sure to remind you, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for spending your evening with me. I really apologise for keeping you so long. But guys, please, just a big push out again. LastelleBand.com. Get your tickets to their upcoming tour. Exist Volume 2 is out September 12th, I'm going to say.
September 12th. Sounds about right.
Yeah, remembered it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Headline tour kicks off on the 19th. Come down. If anyone wants to come talk wrestling, like me and Adam are in, don't talk to our bandmates about wrestling. They won't know what's going on. So don't do that.
No, we'll just congregate all the wrestling fans with Adam and Freddie in a corner. We'll drink and just talk about wrestling after the show. I think that's the plan.
I don't think you should try and segregate people into wrestling fans and non-wrestling fans.
That could be a Twitter war in itself, isn't it? You know what I mean?
That's kind of basically that's just what a mosh pit is, isn't it? You know, that's just,
but that's what we do. We do wrestling fans on one side and then non-wrestling fans on the other. Just as the breakdown of Bitter Seed start, let them go. Boom, done.
I think that's going to be the most one-sided wall of death.
I think so, yeah. I think so. I think
all the nerds getting crushed by the wrestlers.
But to be fair, Faye's like 4'0", so when she's a big wrestling fan, so I think that she'll bring the average.
She's a small wrestling fan.
She's a very small wrestling fan, yeah. But honestly, guys, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Too sweet to you both. And I will speak to you both soon. Guys, I'm just going to be on a very, very short break. I'll be back very, very shortly. Thank you all.
Peace out. Thank you for having us.
Cheers. Thank you.